Hello and welcome to GFTL. Indie news this week. The Nordic Game Jam wraps up, revealing 79 games and the winner of its audience award. The game Freedom Planet by Galaxy Trail has stormed out of the gate on Kickstarter. Drunken Robot Pornography by Derrick Games goes into alpha. Ridiculon released a video of them making music for Team Meat's new game Mew-genics. And recent and upcoming indie releases to get excited about. First up, the Nordic Game Jam 2013 has wrapped up on the 20th of January in Copenhagen. This year's theme was grotesque, and I can certainly say some of the entrants were particularly strange. One I very much enjoyed was the Chenny, in which you had to manipulate a girl's facial features to elicit ice cream from her father. It ended up with her eyebrows stretched across the screen, and it was very bizarre. The winner of the main competition, the Audience Award, was Niflas, also known as Nicholas Nygren, with his game Spaceship with a Mace. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to play it because it requires 4 Xbox controllers and I only have one. So anyone that has been able to play it with their friends, please let me know, because I'm very interested in what it looks like. The second prize went to Press X to Give Up, which is about a matador versus a bull, and the only way you can lose is if you press X, but every time you get hit by the bull, another glitch appears on the screen, and eventually it becomes so obscured that you just can't see what you're doing. Video games were not the only entrants to this competition. There were also quite a lot of board games, which obviously I can't show you here, but they do have particularly interesting art, and I think it's well worth taking a look at the complete list of entries and playing all of the ones you can. Because of the constraints of a game jam, many of them were either very short or unfinished. One that I really wanted to see more of was a game called Dragon Pussy, which was a platformer where you're also a rocket. It's very strange, but there are only 2 levels in that game. It's unfortunate, but c'est la vie. Hopefully they'll work on it more, and the good thing is that this means you can play through them all very quickly, so if that tickles your fancy, take a look in the description for all the links and information. Freedom Planet, a high-speed platform game by Galaxy Trail, has blasted its way onto Kickstarter. With 23 days to go as of recording, it has currently raised $10,359, and their original pledge goal was $2,000, so many congratulations to Galaxy Trail, who have updated their Kickstarter with stretch goals. At $3,000 they said they'd add animated cutscenes, $4,000 hiring extra programmers, $5,000 they would add an extra character known as Spade for classic mode and time attack, $7,000 a webcomic series future expansion set that makes Spade playable in the story mode as well, and currently they've just passed their $10,000 stretch goal mark, which allows them to do advertising, promotion, and getting a head start on the next game in the series by adding the commander from the trailer as a playable character in a future expansion pack as well. So that is a very cool story, I think. Despite the fact that the Kickstarter boom has ended, the community around Kickstarter has really maintained its integrity and is starting to fund some really interesting projects. This is one of them. It's definitely got a Sonic vibe to it, and if you play the demo you can certainly see where the influences lie, but in the execution I think they've done it particularly well, because the game has a very natural flow to it in the platforming and speed running sections. I've done an Alpha Watch gameplay video which covers the single time attack level, which is available in the demo, so if you'd like to watch that, click on the link here. And there are links in the description that can lead you to the Kickstarter and their official website. Derrick Studios have released the alpha of their game Drunken Robot Pornography. It contains 6 levels, a Titan editor, and a level editor. Many people have been describing it as a kind of 3D shoot-'em-up or bullet hell game, and because of the segmented nature of the giant robots you fight called Titans, it's been likened to the 2D game Warning Forever. I've thoroughly enjoyed the alpha and have made an Alpha Watch video of it. If you'd like to check that out, there's a link here. The ability to create your own Titans and levels is tied directly into the Steam Workshop, which is an excellent idea for sharing player-created content, especially for a game like this where I can see people making particularly difficult levels and robots for people to fight against. That will be the most interesting thing that will come out of this. I'm very certain of that. And just the fact that there's a new Dejaban video game coming out is very exciting too. So check out the links in the description for that. And moving on. Ridiculon have released a video of them creating some music for the game Mew-genics by Team Meat. After dropping a few names, they also mentioned that the game might be out sooner than we think, and seems to me that they've revealed a few of the features that will be included in the game, including cat fights, sewer racing, and cat pageants. I really enjoy the rocky, shouty sound to their music. It's really cool, and they just seem like a really decent couple of guys. One of the interesting things they say about Team Meat is the fact that they're very open and really encourage experimentation. I think it links in nicely to a post I read on Rock Paper Shotgun about how the music for Hotline Miami and FTL have really close links between the developers and the composers, which means that as the game grows, the soundtrack melds into it, and it just creates a more fitting sound to the game where the composer doesn't really feel constrained by any particular genre or sound. I'm going to put a link to the video in the description and a link to the Rock Paper Shotgun article as well. It's a very interesting read. Make sure to keep an eye out for Mew-genics, which I just can't wait to play. I'm a huge fan of Team Meat and the two developers and all of their projects really, so keep an eye out for that. On to the next topic. And now on to recent indie releases. Derrick the Deathfin has been released, and a surprise move by a different tuner. I was really lamenting the fact that I didn't have a PS3, and now they've migrated the game to PC. Hopefully the PC community will embrace him, because in an interview I read somewhere on the internet, I'm not entirely sure, I shall find it for you, he said he had put himself into quite a lot of debt creating the game. It's also got itself a Steam Greenlight page, so that's probably worth visiting if you're a fan of Echo the Dolphin and eating sea creatures. A very clever idea they've had is to put their game on the Humble Store, which A, allows them to distribute the game DRM free, and once the game has been greenlit they can easily give out Steam keys to all the people that have already bought it from the Humble Store. So good luck to them. And on January the 31st, Antechamber, a non-Euclidean and most likely non-Newtonian 3D puzzle game, is going to be released on Steam. I'm very intrigued by the idea that the developer Alex Bruce thinks that most 3D puzzle games give players reward for purely following instructions, and he hopes to break down the normal bias and expectations players have and teach them patterns that they can use to overcome the very unusually structured puzzles in the game. The very fluorescent and contrasting colours in the trailer have really intrigued me, and I'm very much looking forward to playing it when it comes out. And one of the most beautiful games I've seen in the last year, Proteus, has finally received a release date for Steam. The developers Ed Key and David Kanega explain that they've reached a point where it feels right to call it done. Currently, the beta is still available for a reduced price of $7.50, and when the game comes out on Steam, it will be $10. The launch is very close at hand and will be here on the 30th of January. If there's anything you'd like to let me know about the show, please do contact me through Twitter at @bootsie__ or via my email shown here, because this is a prototype for a news and opinion show on indie games and indie game development that I'd like to share with everyone. I'm not sure whether it will be weekly, bi-weekly or monthly, but I do know that I'd very much like to continue doing it, and I've enjoyed myself very much making it. So once again, if there's literally anything you'd like to talk to me about, please contact me. Likewise, if you've got any news or story tips or indie game release dates that you'd like to tell me about, please send me a wave. I'm off to play in the snow. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.